Hey everyone, Krozjin here, and welcome back to City Skylines. Today, let's take a look at the Asset Editor. Now, to get to it, as you saw, you go under Tools, Asset Editor. If you have some asset to load, the Load button will be displayed. Otherwise, just go ahead and click New. Now here you can select a theme. As far as I can tell, this is purely for visual demonstration. There's no actual difference between them. So we'll just go with the regular one. And then you get into the Asset Importer screen. Now, we'll just go ahead in order from the intersection all the way to the tree, and we'll just go ahead and cover every single one of them. So, for an intersection, go ahead and select it, and click Continue. Now, you'll be given this basically pretty large area where you can build an intersection. So you have access to all the roads. It doesn't matter if you have them unlocked or anything. It's available right from the get-go, as well as trees and just small pedestrian paths and roads. So that's pretty nice. So now what I can do is, for example, go ahead and make a highway like I would in my city, but then I can set up that I can just keep reusing it and I don't have to build this design. So as an example, if I go ahead and just build a straight road this way, maybe a straight road back. Now, unlike the game itself, you can actually see the grid at all times, so it really helps to plan to space out your stuff. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and just make this slightly wider. Let's do something like this. That seems like a nice distance between them. And then we're going to want to get going in the other direction. And actually, now that I think about it, we have our highways raised in the city. So let's go ahead and make this like I would use in the city for later. So I'll go ahead and raise this up. And just go ahead and do a straight path out. And then do a straight path back. One more out. Something like this. That seems like a good distance. Okay, and then we will go ahead and make a 6-lane road, 2-way going through the bottom. Like that. Let's go ahead and continue further. Don't worry about it going way too large. You can delete roads as you see fit. So now, what we can do is set up ramps going on and off. So if this is going in this direction, I'm going to go ahead and set up a ramp, sort of like what we have in the city currently, and on and off. Like so. Now this of course creates traffic lights, so if I want to, I could actually use the regular ramps. And let's do that for this one. Also, when you select a road, it shows you a nice visualization of where you can actually build houses. So that's very useful. So let's go like that, and then back up, and then from the other side. So like that. So now we have an on and off ramp. At any time someone can get off, turn left and get on the freeway to go backwards. They can go in each direction. So it's very, very nice and compact. I'm going to go ahead and demolish that. I'm going to demolish that. As well as that. Now the reason I'm doing this is to make it as compact as possible. So now when I go ahead and put this into the city, it'll be much easier to snap it in the proper location. So awesome. So once you have something that you like and you want to keep, you can go to your camera, the editor settings, and you can go into the Snapshot tool. And basically you can make a snapshot of your asset. And you can do multiple of them. I believe it's just left click and we'll take a picture. And then when you're ready, you can go ahead and save the asset, and you have all your snapshot available to choose from, which is pretty cool. These are all very far away, so I'm going to go ahead and just go back to the snapshot tool. I'm just going to zoom in right on it and see how's that. That gave me a good one. That's a little better. It might be default distance from it, I'm not entirely sure, but that should be good enough. And you can go ahead and call it something. So I'll call this the highway, no caps, highway on off-ramp. And I'll do the same thing here. And I can go ahead and save it. So now that it's saved, oh, that's actually awesome. That's my first achievement, because I've been playing in hard mode, so all my achievements are disabled. But now I can go ahead, click load asset, and it is right there, the asset name, time and date you saved it. And I should be able to go ahead and quit out of here to the main menu. Go into the the content manager. Under assets, I can now turn on and off the asset to be available for me to use. I can also go ahead and share this on the Steam Workshop if I so choose. But if I quickly go ahead and just go into my actual cities game, I'll show you how I can go ahead and place it. So this is where I was last left off, right before hitting my 18,000 milestone. But now, if I go under roads and intersections, you'll see it right there. Now, the name, for some reason, I don't know if it's currently bugged or how it works, but it is available for you. So for example, for my road here, it's too narrow, but for this one, it's almost right. But if I was to plan accordingly that I would use this intersection, then I could space out my roads to be proper. So I can just put it anywhere I want, right click to rotate it, hold right click to just tilt it at any angle I want, and just place it anywhere. Now, the thing about these roads is, you see how it was elevated? Now this works pretty well because this is only one level high. If I had an intersection I designed that was, like, say, 4 levels high, this would probably be an issue, and you would not be able to place it everywhere. So the more complicated and the more levels the intersection you design, the higher chance it is that you will not be able to place it everywhere due to elevation changes or cliffs or something of that sort. So something to take into consideration. And now that I've created something, I have a load option. But we'll go ahead and new, go back to a template, and go on to the next section. So the intersection is pretty simple. You basically make it any intersection you want, take a picture of it, you save it out, and you can use it at any time. Let's continue to the parks. Now the parks, you start with an area that you can choose. You can change the size of it to anything you want, so you can make like a 3x4, for example. A really tiny park. Because there's a lot of pretty big parks, but there's not a lot of very small ones. Now you can change some settings on it, the cost of it, fire hazard, tolerance, electricity, the tourists it can generate, water, everything can be set here. So if you wanted to, you could make a really cheap park, a really big, expensive park. You can set every single one of these values. Now the other thing you can do is, I'm going to go ahead and set this pretty big for now, just so we have a working area. I think the max is, what, 14 or 15 by 15? Yeah, 14 by 14 is the largest park you can make. So you can have roads going through it if you want. You can place trees, which you'd probably want to in a park. So you can just go ahead and place all the trees you want. You can also place different kind of pavements, for example. So this is gravel, I believe. Yeah, gravel, some ruined roads, some farmlands. If for some reason you want to have a park for the farmland, and clip, which is, it really creates a hole in the terrain. It really does what it says. So it's really weird. So if I make it and actually select it, it is a hole to the void. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not too sure what the purpose is of this. I'll go right click drag just to erase it, but I'm sure there are some uses for it. I'm just not sure what. If this was like a texture on a material for a building or something, it would make sense. On the ground, I don't understand too much. So then we have billboards, and you have a lot of options for billboards. So if I zoom in, yeah, with the law, you got some scissors. I think these might need to go up, but I don't think you can place them, raise them any higher if it's on the ground. These work great for the walls of buildings. So not all of them are for the ground. So these, I think, all are for walls because they're in the ground themselves. We have small billboards. Do we have any that's good for just putting it on the ground? This one's actually not bad. No, it is still halfway in the ground. Let's see. Oh, there we go. That's nice. You can rotate these the same way. So basically you can decorate your park any way you want. Other billboards, some really big ones, pop soda, nice food. So you could set any of these up on billboards. What else do we have? Oh yeah, we have random logos you can set. Again, these are better for walls. Let's see if I... Nope. It says random, but... Random medium billboard? Am I just unlucky with the same one? No, it seems like it's the same one. Yeah. That's okay. We can get some... I guess random just means it's crunch time. Or, once I save it out, it will become a random one. Which is probably it. Now another thing to note, you have 64 trees and props you can be used. So, in this entire area, I can use 64 of anything, which is amazing. So I go 3D billboards. These are really cool. They have a nice octopus in the front. Maybe a squirrel and a donut if you want to make it like a donut shop. This guy spins around, so it's a cool animation on him. So there's a lot of nifty tools you can use. You can have these guys, which I believe animate. Yep. So these are great for building walls and things of that nature. Then you have crates, barrels, and these can all be accessed into any of the asset editors. Of course, in a park, you probably don't want this stuff, but maybe you do. It all depends on the park you're making. Then you have random industrial props, which is pretty cool. Some fences. Lots of tools to choose from. Here's some of the nice park stuff. Under parks. No surprise there. High-level sandbox. It's pretty cool. We have a carousel, some swings. So you can really customize how you want your park to look. And then you can set your construction cost as you see fit and really make this place look cool. Some other stuff you can make is the hang-around markers. Now, this is basically where people like to gather, as far as I understand, as well as where you can park your cars if you want to place those. So, for example, now cars will park there. And this is a Steam marker, which generates steam as it mentioned there. So as you see there, steam is coming out. For a park, you probably don't want to make this unless you, at all times you will think if you make this that it's on fire, and that's gonna confuse you. So once you're happy, go ahead, go into your asset editor settings, to the photography or the snapshot tool, and go ahead and take a picture of it. Just left click any way you want, take as many as you'd like, and then when you go ahead and save the asset, you'll have all the choices available. Again, save it out, and you'll have the same options. I'll cancel out of this, and I will make a new asset. This time, a building. Now, here you have a lot of options. So you can make any kind of building you want. You can start with one, you can modify one. For the unique buildings, you have the preview. And for the regular ones, you have the different sizes. So for example, if I modify a low density commercial building, I can say I want to modify the level 2 4x3. Now there's different ones, 4x3 shop 5, 4x3 shop 6, so you can have multiple of these. I'll go ahead and continue. This is the default. This is the default one for that size. Now I can go ahead and import a model I have created myself, for example in Blender or Maya or any 3D program you so choose, and by just clicking this button and importing and using that. We're going to use the default in-game one for now. So here it is. The default 4x3 commercial low density area. You have a nice reflection there, which is pretty cool. Here you can change the color of it. So if you want, I can make this a different color altogether. Now there's not going to be much control for the buildings, but this is because I'm just basically modifying a pre-existing one. So I can change all those colors. I'm honestly not sure what the ground offset, first height, other height, and floor count really affects. But the construction time is, of course, how long it takes to actually build it. Usually I just keep it as default. I see no reason to change it unless you're going to change the size of it. Which, if we can go, we can make this 4x4. So we have just a little bit more room in the front and the back. And we can go ahead and, for example, add some billboards. So these guys, we should be able to see it. Oh, let's rotate them to face out, actually. There you go. So now these guys, which we were going to the ground before, can now appear properly on the walls. You can make as many as you'd like, up to 64. Now these count as 3. The building itself is not a prop or a tree, so it is not counted. So let's see what else do we have here. Some cool designs for the mall. This one sticks out. So you can make, for example, a building that is pretty futuristic, if you like, things of that nature, and just modify it as much with the random things as you see fit. So you just put a random billboard up there, maybe another one, and because this is a regular type of building, it doesn't have costs or anything. This is going to be randomly generated, like any of the other buildings. So you can, once you're happy with it, you go ahead and snapshot it and save it out. But if I go ahead and make a custom building such as a police station or a school, let's go ahead and just say I want to modify the university. Let's go with the university. So let's go ahead and use the default university model because we don't have one to import. Now this is a custom building. This is not one that's automatically populated. So you can change the size to anything you want. I can make the school giant, a 16:8 school. So now, because it's 16:8, I can go ahead and change the construction costs. Maybe I want to have this now 150,000. I'll leave the fire hazard, garbage, everything. Maintenance costs, I think, should go up. It is a bigger place. Let's go 25. Electricity consumption, let's go 150. So you can really change all of the stuff. Water, the amount of workers it needs. Everything can be changed here for the unique building. The amount of students it can accept, well, it's a bigger campus, so it's probably going to accept more people. So like 7,500. The radius, maybe this one will be 2,000. You can change the materials, really give this school a cool look and feel to it. Anything you want. And again, you have the same ground offset height, etc. Now, here you can go ahead and say, well, maybe I want a road going right to the school. You can go ahead and make that. And it will connect, or at least it should as far as I know, connect to everything. Go ahead and give it some trees, give it some love, whatever you'd like. Maybe give it a little backyard, or front yard, I guess this is from the school. With some cool things like a barbecue grill, you don't know. Maybe kids like to barbecue out here on the weekends. It's an open campus. Give them a nice swimming pool. This is becoming really weird for a high school, but hey, it's not my high school. You can make your high school however you want. Give it some places to relax. Creepily look over on the people in the swimming pool. You know, whatever floats your boat. Whatever you like. And as long as I'm below the 64, it will be fine. So now I can, again, take a snapshot, and this will be available for me to place under the school section to put into my city with the parameters I set. Okay. Let's go ahead and continue on to props. Now, props and trees don't have an option to modify anything. You can purely import them. And when you do, they'll become available. So see, there's nothing to choose from. This is the last thing that was selected, so I can't modify it there. So that pretty much covers the different asset importers. Again, intersections. Make any kind of roads you'd like. You don't have the option to place anything besides trees and roads. And all the other assets you can go crazy. Change the buildings however you like. Make really interesting variations to your city. The more you save out in terms of variation, the more unique your city will look. So for example, if I was to just start making a ton of different shop sizes for everything, just make like 4 new second level 4x3s. Whenever I have that as an option, it will look much more unique than otherwise would, because there's a lot more to grab from. So that is really awesome. And again, at any point, if you go to your main menu, you can go into your content browser, content manager, and it will be available in your assets. And you can just turn on and off whether or not you want to have it appear into your city. Because if you, for example, have a bunch of them and you are just experimenting with a few, you might want to just turn them off. And that will do it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. It's still low. Now, I'm not going to focus too much on education currently because we haven't started doing offices, which require the highly educated. So this should be fine. They don't need highly educated workers here or here. And Grape Shop last. One of the main reasons I love it. If you have 2 size guys in the back, you can hit the second guy over. If he doesn't miss. Oh my god, these guys.